Have you ever wondered how pro players never miss a shot with the Reaper sniper rifle? Well, today I'm going to be revealing the exact system that they use to be as accurate as possible. And if you learn this system, you will have a huge advantage in game. And trust me when I say it's way easier than you think. I would recommend getting a pen and a piece of paper so you can write some of this stuff down and have it next to you while you play the game. Or if you want to be like the pros and you have a second monitor, I made a comprehensive guide that you can download for free in the description below. Real quick, I just want to let you guys know I had to refilm a lot of parts of this video because they updated the bullet drop on the snipers. So if you're watching this video after April 6th and there's been no updates to the snipers since that date, then all of this information is still accurate. I just want to let you guys know that way you know that you have the correct information. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to need is to always have the 4x scope on your sniper. And the next thing is when you see your opponent, the first thing you want to do is ping them. This is going to allow you to know the exact distance they are away from you. So now that we have that information, let's learn how to perfectly line up our shot no matter the distance. If your opponent is 40 meters away or less, there's no adjustment needed. You need to line them up directly with the center of the scope. At 50 meters away, you need to line them up with the first line below the center. Wherever you put this line is exactly where your bullet is going to land. At 75 meters, you're going to need to line them up with the second line down from center. At 100 meters, you need to line them up with the third line down. 125 meters, you'll need to line them up in the middle of the third and the fourth line. 150 meters is going to be the fourth line down from the center. 175 meters is going to be between the fourth and the fifth line. 200 meters is going to be the fifth line down from the center. 225 meters is going to be in between the fifth and the sixth line. 250 meters is going to be between the sixth and the seventh line. 275 meters, you're going to need to line them up with the seventh line down. 300 meters is going to be between the seventh and the eighth line. 325 meters is going to be the eighth line down. 350 meters is going to be between the eighth and the ninth line, and 375 meters is going to be the ninth and final line down from the center. Now, keep in mind, all of the examples you just seen on screen were all headshots. So when we said at 75 meters, you need to line your opponent up with the second line down from the center, wherever you put that line, if they're 75 meters away, is exactly where your bullet is going to land. So if you put that line on their head, it's going to be a headshot. But don't forget that the hitbox of a Fortnite character's head is 9 times smaller than the hitbox of their body. And most of the time, people aren't just going to be standing still waiting to get sniped in the head. So more often than not, it's going to be a lot easier to just line your shot up with the body to guarantee that damage. But either way, you now have the guide to perfectly line your shots up. Although there is one giant problem. Like I said before, very rarely are people just going to be standing still. So how do we compensate for them running, sprinting, and flying? Well, we figured that out as well. And that is what these lines on the side of the scope are for. Lucky for us, this is actually the easiest part of the entire process. You would think that you'd have to lead your shot more and more the further you get from your opponent, but that's actually not the case at all. You have to lead your shot pretty much the same exact amount, no matter if you're 50 meters away or 350 meters away. So if your opponent is running, not tactically sprinting, but just normally running, you're gonna have to lead your shot 3 lines ahead of your opponent for the shot to hit. So you just pair this information with the same chart that we just went over to compensate for distance. So if they're 100 meters away and running, you're gonna go up 3 lines just like we did before when they were standing still, and then lead your shot by 3 lines. 200 meters away is gonna be 5 lines up and still 3 lines ahead, and 300 meters is going to be 7.5 lines up just like it was before and still 3 lines ahead. So pretty much just take the distance chart that we made before, apply that, and if they're just normally running, just lead your shot 3 lines ahead of them no matter the distance. And what's amazing is this same rule applies for sprinting and flying. So if your opponent is sprinting, we're going to apply the same distance adjustments just like we did when they were standing still, and then we're just going to lead our shot 5 lines ahead of them. So if your opponent is 200 meters away, you're going to be 5 lines up and 5 lines ahead. No matter the distance, if your opponent is tactically sprinting, you're always going to lead your shot 5 lines ahead of them. So once again, just pair that information with the original distance chart that we had, and that's how you're going to line your shots up for anyone that's tactically sprinting. And then with flying, we're going to apply the same distance adjustments just like we did when they were standing still, and then just lead your shot 7 lines ahead of the opponent. And the wings give them a pretty giant hitbox, so it actually gives you a little bit more wiggle room as long as they're not doing that crazy dodge roll thing that you can do with the wings. So 250 meters is going to be 6.5 lines up and 7 lines ahead. Now, with Fortnite specifically, one of the biggest things you have to account for is verticality. Your opponent can build 20 stories up into the sky if he wants to. So how do we compensate for your opponent being multiple layers up from you, or you being multiple layers up from your opponent? And the answer is you don't. We tested this out, and the ping system kind of compensates it for you. So all of the numbers on this chart will be accurate regardless of verticality. So it doesn't matter if you're 10 layers up or your opponent's 15 layers up, just apply these numbers no matter what. Now, this might take a little bit of getting used to, and I would recommend keeping this chart somewhere easy to look at while you play the game, like maybe next to you or on a second monitor. But you'll have this memorized, and it'll become muscle memory way faster than you think. I've been using this system for about a week now, and my accuracy with the Reaper sniper rifle is insane, to the point that when my teammates find a sniper, they just give it to me. And I gotta tell you, it feels good being the sniper guy. And just like anything, especially when it comes to Fortnite, it's just a matter of putting a little bit of time into it before you have it completely mastered. So if this video helped you out, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, you can catch me live on Twitch. And if you want to increase your accuracy with your sniper even more, be sure to use code mechanical in the Fortnite item shop.